Hello, everyone. I am so honored to receive this award from the Black Women in Film Network. This is the award I received, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I collect glass, so this glass sculpture is very meaningful to me, as is this award. So, first of all, I want to thank the Black Women in Film Network for honoring me in this way. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'm sorry this is a virtual year. I would have loved to be in a room with everyone, but we all know we're living with COVID and we're doing what we can. So thank you again for honoring me. There are a couple of things I just want to talk about today. I've been in the film and TV business for over 32 years. As you heard, I was CEO of BET Networks for 13 years, but I worked at the company for 32 years. I started out as a lawyer. I was the company's general counsel. I started the legal department, and in my wildest dreams, I never thought that I would be CEO of BET Networks. But that was the path I was on. As I worked at the company for many years, I became more involved in business affairs and doing deals, helping the company go public. BET was the first Black-owned company to go public on the New York Stock Exchange. And I eventually was appointed as Chief Operating Officer, and I served in that role for 10 years and eventually became CEO and served in that role for 13 years. And I loved it. I never expected that I would be in business or that I would love managing, but it really worked out for me. And I love BET. I loved creating programming and telling Black stories. And I want to talk a little bit about that because telling Black stories is so important. As Michelle Obama, our forever First Lady, has said, everyone has a story. And over the years, Black people have not gotten their fair share of highlights on TV or on film. When I was growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina, if someone Black came on the TV, we would call other family members and say, turn on Ed Sullivan, the Supremes are on, or the Temptations are on. Soul Train was the only regular show we could depend on. So there weren't very many images of Black men or Black women. And when there were, I knew how important it was to me to see people who look like me and to see them in an authentic light and hear their stories. So growing up, I watched a lot of TV and I went to a lot of movies. I just always loved media. So first of all, I want to encourage the young women watching this gala tonight to follow your dreams. And if you're interested in media, be sure to go for that. There are different ways you can do it. There are different professions in the industry. I was on the business side, but I got to dabble in the creative side. I was the one who greenlit shows and movies. We did several movies during my tenure at BET. We invested in Fruitville Station with Michael B. Jordan. We invested in Mandela with Idris when he played Mandela. We did a movie called Beyond the Lights with Gina Price Blythewood, which was one of my proudest movies. It was a great story about a young Black singer. So we were able to do movies that either had a theatrical run or that would debut on the network. And I enjoyed that as much as I did the television side. But today you're seeing more Black women in different roles in Hollywood or in Atlanta or wherever programming is produced. I'm so thrilled to see Regina King nominated as a director this year for One Night in Miami. I'm so thrilled to see what Ava DuVernay is doing with her Array company in terms of her directing movies and producing movies. It seems like it's a golden moment in Hollywood for Black stories. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. I hope it's something that will last a long time, but there's a push for diversity from so many different angles. And we want to see our stories on the screen, the big screen and the little screen. And we are a committed audience. So if you're interested in producing or directing, if you're a talent and want to be in movies, I would say go for your dream and do whatever you need to do to educate yourself about the profession, and to try to get hired, and move up the ranks. The film and TV industry has come so far as it pertains to women. You see more female directors, more female producers, and I know that's a wonderful thing. It really diversifies the storytelling, and diversifies what management looks like. So it has evolved. I've seen it evolve over my 32 years in the industry, and it's going to continue to evolve. I just saw Andra Day on one of the morning shows talking about her new Billie Holiday movie, and for her to go from being an artist and a singer to being nominated for a Golden Globe in her first film debut is so inspiring. So there are different ways to get into the industry. I think, it's important that as women, we work together and support each other. I started a conference, an annual conference, about 11 years ago, called Leading Women Defined. And I started bringing together the most powerful women I knew in all kinds of areas, in entertainment, in law, in business, in politics. And it's turned into something very magical because it's a small group, less than 200, but you meet new people, you get support from your fellow attendees, and it's magical when we get together as Black women and support each other. Kamala Harris came to the conference, and when she was running for senator, Michelle Obama has been twice, but after Kamala came, many of the women attendees had fundraisers for her. So we were able to give back and support her. And now she's our new vice president, which is so exciting. So you do see proof that things are changing, but I think we still have to keep pushing and making sure that we're represented in the media industry and that we support each other. As CEO, it was very important for me to put together my own team and a winning team. When I first became COO, I inherited a team that wasn't necessarily my team. And over time, I had to make sure I built my own team and that I hired people that were interested in my success, and that we're going to go more than the distance to make sure I was successful and to make sure BET Networks was successful. And as a manager, that's what you look for in terms of the people you hire. You look for people that are committed, that want to grow with the company, and are dedicated to the values and the purpose of the company. When I took over BET, there was a lot of criticism about hip hop videos. For a few months, I had protesters outside my house, and I was very committed to free speech and allowing young people to listen to the kind of music they wanted. On the other hand, I'm a mother, and I didn't want to put on images that were negative or that encourage violence or encourage drug use. So we had a very strict standards committee, and they reviewed every video, they reviewed every show. And if there was anything that was concerning, we would send the videos back to the music labels or edit the programming ourselves. So it's very important to define your values and your purpose, and to make sure, again, your team understands that and they know what your goals are. We went through a branding exercise that took a year and a half after I became CEO, and we came up with 3 words. That we were going to do, that were going to be our values. And they were respect, reflect, and elevate. And we knew that our community looked to BET for inspiration. We knew that they would not accept negative programming or programming that put Black people in a negative light. So we knew we had to reflect, we had to be authentic, we had to elevate, we had to give inspiration, and that we had to be entertaining at the same time. And those 3 words really guided my leadership and guided the senior team I put together. They actually guided the entire company, which is wonderful when that happens. My journey has been so long and so amazing in different ways. I've been able to give awards to Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson and Dr. Keith Black, who's a notable brain surgeon. But Diana and Smokey are people I admired as a young girl. And to be able in later life to give them awards and to recognize people in our community that are not always recognized by other organizations has been one of the most meaningful parts of my journey. This was a very sad week as we celebrated the transition of Cicely Tyson, who passed away at the age of 96. I was very fortunate to get to know Miss Tyson very well. She was a friend. I would say she was a mentor, not an official mentor, but she loved talking to young Black women and loved sharing her story. And I was fortunate enough to see her be recognized by Black Girls Rock and to get to know her as a person. I'm so happy that she was able to get her book out before her transition, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So, over the years, I've been able to develop relationship with artists and producers and directors and other CEOs. Now that I have stepped down from BET, which I did about 3 years ago, I'm now able to focus more on my passion projects. Leading Women Defined is still going strong. In fact, our conference is in March this year. It'll be virtual also. I also started a company called the Monarchs Collective, which is designed to change the complexion of corporate boards in our country and to get more Black people on boards. I think that's very important, and serving on boards has been an important part of my journey and something I enjoy doing. Right now, I'm still on 4 boards, and they help me keep my hand in the business world and the content world. I'm on the AT&T board, and AT&T acquired Warner Media, as you probably know, a few years ago. So that gives me a chance to continue to, I hope, have an impact on the content world. And I'm enjoying retired life. I can't sit still, so I'm busier than ever, and people told me that would be the case. But it's a great phase of my life to be able to pick and choose what I want to focus on. And I may do some more in the film and TV area before it's all over. I have so many hopes and dreams for women in the film and television industry. As I noted, I think there are more opportunities. I think we have to support each other. And I hope every year during award season, we'll see that there are more Black women in different positions. And I'm so honored to be recognized by the organization because I know you're committed to making that happen. And I think it will happen. And I think one thing we have to not worry about. One thing I was proud that we could do at BET is recognize artists and executives who may not be recognized by the Oscars or the Golden Globes or the SAG. I mean, it's wonderful when they are, but we need our own organizations to be able to lift our artists and our producers and directors if they're not recognized by what you might call the mainstream organizations, even though I hate that term. So I would encourage you to continue to do what you're doing, lifting up Black women in film and industry and recognizing them for their good work and making sure that they get their flowers while they're still with us. I think one of the great things about Cicely Tyson is she knew how many people loved her. She had relationships with younger women and men, and you know, she lived a full life. We were able to give her flowers while she was still alive. So again, thank you so much for this award. It means the world to me. And I look forward to the time when we can all get together and hug each other. That's one of the things I miss the most about this COVID experience. And I hope in the meantime, we continue to support and elevate each other. It's very important. So thank you again. I wish I was with you in person, but we'll have another time to do that. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and I look forward to keeping in touch. Thank you very much.